Welcome to MCLL, the Department of Modern and Classical Languages and Literatures at the University of Montana. We are part of the College of Humanities and Sciences and are housed in the Liberal Arts Building in the center of our beautiful campus on the Oval. Our department offers 10 different languages, 12 academic minors, and 8 academic majors. In addition to teaching languages, we offer numerous courses in world literatures, film studies, and cultures. Some of our courses extend far beyond the University of Montana classroom, as many of our students study abroad in such places as the Arab world, Austria, China, France, Greece, Japan, Latin America, and Russia. You can begin your international education right here with MCLL.
Hallo und willkommen in meinem Büro. I'm Martin Marco, and I'm an associate professor of German in the Department of Modern and Classical Languages and Literatures here at the University of Montana. I teach German courses ranging from beginning level language up to graduate level coursework. Areas of specialty of mine include nature and literature in the German tradition and in comparative literature. I'm also involved in the film studies program here at the university, and I generally cover literary periods from the late 18th century to contemporary literature, and I'm also very interested in cultural history. Why do I think it's important to study a foreign language and culture, and perhaps more specifically, why do I think it's important to study German? Well, as I just offered that list of things that I teach and I love to teach, those serve as examples of the various areas and topics that all of us cover here in the faculty, in the department. And if I think back to my own student days, when I was a junior, I realized at that point I should probably decide on majoring in something, and I had so many different interests ranging from language, literature, linguistics, theater, history, politics, geography, film, and I realized, I can study all of those things if I declare German as my major, and I did, and now as an instructor, I love the fact that I can incorporate all those fields and other fields in just about every course that I teach, and that's true for all of the languages that are taught here in the department and for all the faculty who teach in those languages. Studying a foreign language and a culture is all about connection. It's not only important, it's fun, it's practical, and it expands not only what you know and what you can do, it expands who you are and who you can be, and expands your ability to relate to countless numbers of people who speak that language, who come from that culture, and those are really, I think, the fundamental ideas and motivations that get us inspired to be teachers in the department, and we'd love to see you in our classes.
Здравствуйте. My name is Ona Renner-Fahey, and I am an associate professor here in the Department of Modern and Classical Languages and Literatures, where I teach Russian language, literature, and culture. Why do I love my job? First, I would say that I love my job because I get to read about, write about, and talk about subjects that I love, from Russian grammar and pronunciation rules to Russian poetry and ballet and art. The other reason that I really love my job is because I enjoy mentoring students very much. I like to discuss with students opportunities that have to do with scholarships and study abroad opportunities in Russia or Central Asia and Russian-speaking countries there. I also talk to students about things like jobs after graduation. Some of our students go and teach English in Russia, or go to graduate school in different programs, law school, even medical school sometimes with a degree in Russian. And I just really enjoy being a part of that process and watching students follow their life dreams and move on.
Ohayou gozaimasu. My name is Brian Dowdle. I'm a professor of Japanese, and I study Japanese literature from the 19th century, and I also teach all levels of Japanese language courses. So why do I love my job? Well, I enjoy working with students, and the best thing about taking a foreign language is that you get to work with the students a lot. They come into your class as freshmen, they leave as seniors, and you get to see them several times a week. And you become, in a sense, their friends. You also get to see them grow and learn and develop and go from being able to say virtually nothing in a language to being able to express themselves and survive and thrive in many different situations. It's really quite exciting to be a part of student growth in that way.
Hola, me llamo María José Busto Fernández y vengo de Argentina. My name is Maria José Bustos Fernandez, and I was born in Argentina, and I work at the University of Montana, the Department of Modern and Classical Languages and Literatures, in the Spanish section, and I also direct the Latin American Studies program. When you learn a second language, you can talk to many more people in the world, you can travel, you can visit other places, you get to know other cultures, but there is also another reason that is a reason why I have dedicated my life to language and languages. I do think that language defines what a human being is, and so when you learn a second language, you really learn your own language, and you learn what language means and why they define what humans are. So I would say that this is the discipline that goes to the core of our humanities and being human beings. So I invite you to come here and learn languages with us.
Salwete Discipuli, or Chairate o Mathetais. My name is Matthew Semenoff, and I teach Greek and Latin languages and literatures for the Modern and Classical Languages and Literatures Department at the University of Montana. I'm going to say a few words about why I think it's important to study Greek and Latin. From one perspective, all of the dreams and hopes and aspirations and fears and anxieties and nightmares are expressed from the very beginnings of Greek and Roman literature, and we get so much of our literary heritage from those sources. Studying the languages allows us to interact on a first-hand basis with the same sorts of fears that people have had for thousands and thousands of years. I'm also interested in studying Greek and Latin literature because it gives us insight into the world that we live in from a natural and a physical perspective. And as recently as 1983, Nobel Prize winning physicists have acknowledged the debt that they owe to Greek philosophers from the 4th century BC who provided us with the very foundations for our understanding of atoms and void and the way that the universe is put together. And we have direct contact with that long lineage of intellectual pursuit through the study of Greek and Latin literature.
Buongiorno. My name is Evelina Baderi Anderson. I teach Italian at the University of Montana in the Department of Modern and Classical Languages and Literatures. Italian is a 2-year program. It was started 10 years ago. So there is a first year and a second year Italian. Why should you learn Italian? A foreign language is good for your brain, and then it's good to travel, to meet new friends, and probably even to find an interesting job. Italian is, if you are interested in music, in food, in architecture, in art, opera, Italian is the language for you. For example, a lot of words in music are Italian. Think about allegro, andante, mosso, piano, forte, larghetto, a lot. At the same time, Italian is a language good for to find a job, because a lot of American companies are are working in Italy and vice versa, and there is a huge market for people with good knowledge of Italian and English, of course. And Italy is a leader in a lot of machinery, in sports cars, for example, Ferrari, in ship building, yachts, in robotics, in construction machines, and of course fashion, textiles, and shoes, and think about the big names in fashion: Armani, Versace, Dolce Gabbana, Prada. So Italian is a good language for you to know. So spread Italian language and culture in Montana. Come to UM.
欢迎大家明年来蒙大拿大学学习中文。Hi, what I just said in Chinese was, I'd love it if all of you could come to the University of Montana next year to study Chinese with us. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tim Bradstock, Professor of Chinese here, Department of Modern and Classical Languages and Literatures. And I'm just going to say a word or two about why studying Chinese is a good idea. Well, the first reason that comes to mind is that China has a very, very long civilization and rich culture, stretching back, at least 3,000 years. And so there's a lot to study that is really interesting, literature and culture. Another thing is that China's economy, by some calculations, is now the largest in the world. And if it's not the largest yet, then it soon will be. And I think no matter what line of work you go into, there's a very good chance that you'll have some kind of interaction with Chinese people at some time in the future. And so studying Chinese would be a very, very good idea, whether you're going to go into business, or perhaps you'd like to become a teacher of Chinese language, or a diplomat, maybe go into government, or an NGO. There are all kinds of possibilities, career opportunities for Chinese. You can go to China and teach English, for example, or even work for the Chinese government. There are people who do that. And so I would strongly recommend that you give serious consideration to coming and joining us.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Professor Crummy. Je suis prof de français à l'Université du Montana. Hi, my name is Ione Crummy. I'm a professor of French at the University of Montana. And I think to be a citizen of the world, especially in the modern era when it's so easy to get on a plane and go someplace, and to really understand where people are coming from and to understand their life experience, you really need to learn their language. And even if you don't speak it perfectly, you show an act of goodwill by having made the effort, and most people really appreciate that. And it sends a message, I care about you, and I think that, what you have to offer me is as important as what I have to offer you.
Assalamu alaikum, marhaban, ahlan wa sahlan. My name is Samir Ibrahim Bitar. I am Palestinian by birth and experience, American by naturalization and experience, and most of all, I'm Montanan by residence and experience. I am the privileged and honored lecturer of Arabic language and cultures with the Modern and Classical Languages and Literatures at University of Montana. This is my 16th year, and I'm very happy to be talking to our prospective students who will matriculate at University of Montana. Today I would like to just share with you why studying a second language would enhance your career perspectives. There are many benefits to studying a second language. With a second language, on your resume, you might be just what an international firm or the US government is looking for. I'm talking about becoming a government relations specialist, a foreign service officer, or a development program officer. That's in the public service sector. You can always teach. I love to teach or do research. In the private sector, you can pursue careers as an international banker, a contractual and corporate consultant, or a political risk analyst. And most of all, learning a foreign language develops self-awareness and understanding of other people. Knowledge of a second language greatly enhances travel and work experiences. It also provides cultural insight and broadens intercultural skills. With that, I will come to my closing statement. I teach Arabic. Arabic is the language of poetry. It flows from right to left, and as your hand moves, it goes towards your heart to create passion. I invite all to come into Arabic and create their own passion. Shukran, ma'a salama.
You will achieve the language skills that will enable you not only to study abroad, but to work abroad as well. Through studying foreign languages, you will also achieve critical understanding of your native language, which in turn will improve your writing skills necessary in many professions. You will engage with the literature and cultures of people around the globe, both historical and contemporary, making you an informed global citizen. You will develop critical thinking skills that will help you in any profession that you choose. Come study the world with MCLL.